Yes, respected friends, sadhakas, jignasus, mumukshus, shrotas and bhaktas and shishyas. First, our actions, physical, vocal, worldly and spiritual. We have to analyze and see, are they in line with what we seek in the depth of our hearts? Are they in line with the Shastras, which are the manuals given by the Lord for us to live with our human equipment? If we really go into details of it, we find almost 80-90% is we are not correctly doing, whether it is in maintaining our cells bodily, whether it is in our relation with the world, whether it is in our relation with the nature, even totality के दृष्टि से देखें तो what we do, what we talk, both are doings, karma, are to be really thought over, and we find all are maximum wrong only. Doings. Then comes second one, the knowledge aspect, understanding aspect, let us say. Have we thoroughly, authentically understood again our life in the world as well as in spirituality? If you really see, we have not exposed our intellect at all properly, used it at all properly. That's why very meager, superficial, काम chala wala information we have. Knowledge also, have we got it from the Shastras again, Guru? Knowledge is understanding. But the whole scheme of the things, why this whole universe is there, वहाँ से लेकर के the role of all the beings in the world, our own role, what is the understanding do we have about? We don't have understanding. As a human, our duties, the goals to be achieved, how we have to be mutually again, as we said in the kriyas, actions, how much you have understood about the animal kingdom, let us say, the plant kingdom, let us say, their glory, their presence, their contribution to the world. Where did we think? Even big, big scientists also, in a scientific manner, they may analyze to find what it contains, what it is made up of, how it is living. ये देखेंगे वो लोग, but then how many of the scientists understood that each plant is a being in its own evolution, while evolving itself silently and fulfilling itself, living that 100, 200 years. Some plants, trees live for such long time. How much they are cooperating for the existence of the co-world of other beings. Like in your own house, let us say there are trees, plants. How much they are giving us the oxygen or the shade or the freshness in the mind when we look at it. One example of one plant kingdom I'm telling. Eat rice and all subject, but did we ever think about how they are nurturing, nourishing us? Do we understand their value, importance, glory? Isn't it? Then only we can slowly think about the glory of the divine who has conceived, planned, made all these things in the universe. That is called correct understanding. That is what the correct use of the buddhi. I gave just only one less than 0.1%. about our understanding. Is it complete or not? Authentic or not? Perfect or not? To be understood things, how many we understood? Did we understand people at home? Our relation with them, our duties with them. चल रहा है गाड़ी बस. There also we have to keep on improving. It won't be over in one day. We're just saying focus on that. Focus on the deeds, focus on the understandings. Keep on improving upon them so that they are not liabilities in giving us dukkha, not liabilities in obstructing our spiritual evolution. They should be assets by giving us real comfort or sukha. So, to assets to help us in our spiritual evolution. Then only comes a third one, our identity. And the biggest thing, ki, what is our identity? In the world. Even in Vyavahara, the Vyavaharik identities are not fully recognized. That is why the understandings we lack in. That is why our actions are also not correct. Identity, as belonging to this nation, belonging to this religion. Nothing is accidental, no? Identity belonging to this family, to these parents as the children or child, or the father or mother of these parents, children. Where is the clarity of our identity? Means what? Again, काम चलाओ चल रहा है. But then specifically, I am a human being. Think that I am great, but I am useless. I am the most consumer and giver very less to the world. Very arrogant, very destructive only. Generally, means these things about you and as human should help us in reducing our ego. For that we are saying. But identity. So many places we have never thought of our exactly identity on the road as a traveler, co-traveler, etc. The more we are clear about it. Finally, the spiritual identity. उसको तो कभी का भूल ही गए. Basically, first and foremost, we are spiritual. On such we spiritual by our own choice or let us say providence divine. The whole non-self, whatever you call, unreal, illusory, it's all projected. How can that be my identity? But do we think? Do we have that guts abilities to think, patience to think? Even if we try, do we have the data to think or depth of the thinking? बस कोई आइडेंटिटी ले लिया, अब चल ही रहा है जिंदगी. कोई सब इंफॉर्मेशन मिला, अंडरस्टैंडिंग, चल ही रहा है जिंदगी. कोई बस एक्शन ऐसा लिया हाथ में कर ही जा रहे with mouth as well as bodily. That is why there is no charm fulfillment in us because there are imperfections at all these levels. Spirituality, Shastra Jnana, by giving us thorough knowledge about all this, tries to give us an opportunity to get ourselves more and more perfected. Perfection is only a process, it's not an achievement. In the process of trying to improve upon or perfect ourselves, in our karma, the actions, in our understandings, in our identities, we instead of becoming a burden to the world and then crushed by the world, we become an asset to the world, thus are fully taken care of by the world. That's the meaning of our side, Ananya Sindhyanto, from that side, Yoga Kshemam Vahami. So, all the time, any action coming out of us should have the seal of our scrutinizing, recognizing, certifying, etc. So, to once in a while, we have to keep on checking our understandings. Are they correct, complete, authentic? Anna? Or they are illusions only taken as understandings, and on the basis of that only we are conducting. Is it not? Whether he is my friend, he is my enemy, these are all understandings. Then we work. But these are all not correct, not complete. You know? Everyone is divine first. Then thereafter, at the Vyavahara level, you can have those understandings. Mm. Understanding also means when something calamitous happens at our individual or total level, what is our understanding? You know, from the divine standpoint, what do you understand? From nature standpoint, nature is reacting. What do we understand? And from our side, as a totality, what is our cause, mistake? And as an individual, if I am not a contributor in that mistake, I would have not been at that place to suffer that particular calamity, chota ho ya bada ho. So understanding, going deep into that. Actually, the purer the heart is, freed from all this bhautikavada, clearer becomes the whole understanding. Understanding gives comfort. Correct understanding gives total relaxation. Those who don't understand, they misunderstand. Take that as the correct understanding. You know? But the third one is very essential. At every moment, our identity. है कि नहीं? कौन है हम? क्या है? So too, what is the identity of everybody around us? Do we recognize, identify them duly? How beautiful it is, if you can learn the art of identifying the beyond divine and identifying the good quality contributor in everything and being, other than love and respect, we will not have anything to anything or being, because in this world, no being or thing is without some good qualities, without their contribution to totality, without the divinity in them. Even a blade of grass, it is not just like that. That blade of grass has its own contribution done to the world, universe, cosmos. It has its own beautiful, unique qualities, which even big trees may not have. Other flora, fauna may not have. So too, in that also, who is looking at you is the divine only. Is it not? When you look at the grass also is looking at you. The divinity in it. Can we identify it? We're at the very highest level of spiritual understanding. If we can do so, takes time, but the calmness, the quietness, the contentment, the joy, the satisfaction will be of the highest degree when we truly identify and acknowledge everyone. Your own wife, identify her speciality, her contribution, wife or husband, then the divinity in it. फर्स्ट क्या ना बाद उनसे कैसे व्यवहार करेंगे वो अलग बात. But first we have conquered our wrong understandings, etc. within us, replace it by right. We feel happy first of all. We feel joyful inside. That is doubled enhanced when that recognized identity is duly respected, valued. The whole problem in the world is the identity crisis only, isn't it? I don't want to identify someone as special or unique or divine, because all the time I identify with my own stupid qualities, etc., as great. Mind you, even the international wars also are happening because of identity crisis only, because of the non-correct complete understandings only. Therefore, the destructive actions, in the wars which are happening, which are destroying the beauties which are created in decades and decades. You know, in fact, कहते हैं ना, पानी भी निकलने को नहीं होता आंखों में, सूख गया, उतना शब्दों में बयान नहीं कर सकते. द पेन, yesterday we saw the Krishna Bhakti saying to the clouds, so you are also smrutva smrutva, है ना, याद करते करते you are also giving the tears and all. So you can't even have tears. So much of glani dukha. If you really see, when the bombardments are happening, who is right, who is wrong, we don't know. You can never that way think. And that won't lead to any spiritual help. It's only pollutes the mind and creates more differentiation, pulls us to the worldly level more. That way, for you and me, it's not healthy. We should never think in the line of commenting who is right or wrong. But what we have to see is each of the human beings, they are there. How much of the pain pangs they are going through, of the destruction of their houses, properties, killing of their own kith and kin around themselves, hands, legs broken, wounded, bleeding, uncertain about life for the next moment. What a destruction, see. आई टेल यू, ओ बाप रे, मेरे को तो देखना नहीं हो रहा है आजकल. तो मतलब आंख में ही आंख पानी वहीं सूख जाता है, वो एक्सप्रेस नहीं होते. हाउ कैन echo other human beings? You can massacre like that, handing that so many animals, the plants, the trees. Wow, break. You understand how destructive is human mind in today's world? How devilish. कभी नहीं था. As much the science has grown to such a unique level, never ever was in the history of the past, any of the yuga, so much the destructive also the human. Identity, भूल रहे हैं हम. Whole thing is divine. है ना? It has to be understood that way, and the action should be of so noble. Instead of that, for small little differences and causes which are meaningless and insignificant, for that small thing, how much destruction, isn't it? Very, very painful. Anyway, let our Shastra Adhyanam give us such a very, very purified, subtler vision for the correct identity of everything at its spiritual level, so too as a contributor in the world. So too we will understand the great qualities of everything, uniqueness, and acknowledge it, accept it at the action level, vocal, physical. Let only nobility expressed through us. May that complete highest maturity come to us and we become lost in oblivion in our service to the Lord in the form of the total. That should be the way we have to evolve, think, contribute, and as we said, remove those tears, the glanis. Right now only, was close eyes. Feel for all those who are suffering in that yuddha. Money we may not send, or material we may not send. Physically we may not be in front of them to serve. Okay. But then if in our heart we can create those deep, vibrations of love, concern, caring, also that sympathy, empathy, that courage giving them, you will come out of all these problems and will be normal to each of the one who is suffering. It can be animal, it can be plant, it can be human being of any order, anybody. Just send. In fact, this should be the all the time work for the entire universe. They all need our sympathetic, compassionate thoughts, vibrations. That is a divinity expression. Divine expresses like that only. So, crisis of wrong actions, wrong understandings, wrong identities can be replaced by the correct action, understanding, and identity when we are so much regular, thorough in studying our divine Adhyatmika Shastras. May we get these all things along with spiritual growth too. Hmm. Om. 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 Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsharusibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah. Om Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pad Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Om Guru Pungava Pungava Ketanate Samatamayam Nahi Kopi Sudhi Sharanagata Vatsala Tatvanidhe Bhavashankara Deshikame Sharanam. Bhavashankara Deshikame Sharanam. Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrusham Tattvamasyadilaksham Yekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Triguna Sadgurum Tannamami. Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Samastam Brahma Vidyacharyebhyo Rishibhyo Munibhyo Gurubhyo Shri Aitareya Upanishadacharyebhyo Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Shri Vedavyasa Maharsheye Namaha. Shri Aitareya Maharsheye Namaha. Shri Bhashyakaraya Adya Shankara Sadgurave Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Sankalpaha Tesham Sarvesham Kripa Anugrahena Upanishadukta Brahmatmaikyamodhasya Asmin Kshane Eva Anubhava Sanatana Dharmasya Vaidika Haindava Samskrutehe Shastrajnananam Sadhananam Prakriyanam Punaruthana Jagarana Samasta Vishwa Vyapti Dwara Vishwa Adhyatmika Pragati Dwara Vishwa Shanti Kalyana Ekata Praptyartham Vishwa Purovivridyartham Asmin Karmani Nishtita Asmakam Sabha Samasta Bhakta Sadhaka Dharma Samstavaka Jignasunam Purnayurarogya Aishwarya Kshema Stairya Dhairya Viryadi Samasta Shakti Sampada Sadhana Sanukulyatanam Prapti Dvara Dharma Samstapana Karye Digvijayartham Shri Arugvedantargata Aitareya Upanishadaha Parayanam Vayam Sarve Karishyamahe. Om Manastavatamashantye Yasya Padanakachata Sharadinduriva Nibhabhati Tam Vande Neelachinmanim. Om Atha Aitareya Upanishad Rugvedantargata Prathamodhyayah Shanti Mantrah. Om Vang Me Manasi Pratishtita Mano Me Vachi Pratishtitam Aviravirma Edhi Vedasya Maani Stha Shrutam Me Ma Prahasi Anenadhite Naho Ratran Sandadhami ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 12, 13, 14 स एतमेव तृतीयखण्डः सः एतमेव सीमानं विधार्य एतया द्वारा प्रापद्यत सा एषा विद्युतिर्नामद्वाः तदेतत् नान्दनः तस्य त्रय आवसथाः त्रयः स्वप्नाः अयमावसथोऽयमावसथोऽयमावसथ इति स जातः भूतानि अभिव्यैख्यतु किमिह अन्यं वावदिशत् इति स एतमेव पुरुषं ब्रह्म ततमम पश्यतु इदम् अदर्शम् इति तस्मादिदन्द्रो नाम इदन्द्रो ह वै नाम तमिदन्द्रं सन्तम् इन्द्र इति आचक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः. Friends, in Upanishads, the mantras, the shlokas, the sentences, the words, examples, explanations, logics, all are given only to indicate to us the truth. So our identity, our attention should be onto the truth that is being indicated through all of them. Just like in Yoga Darshana we studied, Adhyatma Ramayana we have studied what it is. The entire world is to remind us of Bhagavan and not to forget Bhagavan. But again, the identity crisis, understanding crisis. You understand? Everywhere. The parents are given to love, surrender, respect, serve. But that's what we don't do. Exactly opposite of that we do. Everywhere. In the same way, Upanishads will employ the mantras with the padas, vakyas. Lot of explanation is there in that. Information is there in that. Some logics are there, examples are there. What are they doing through all that? Indicating to us the truth. That indicated truth. Are we able to attend to? Are we able to grasp, recognize? Are we able to identify it with it? Then we are studying Shastra. All Shastra studied, mantras remembered, meaning of mantras remembered, examples remembered. We are able to exponentially giving sermons or talks everywhere. Yet, in our recognition and identity, if the indicated truth is not there, we have missed the essence itself. Okay. So we are seeing the world, we have to be shown the self. Therefore, from the world seen only, we are directed toward the self. Like in many movies. First the hero is put. Then the whole cinema goes on the basis of hero. Like in Gita also. First, heroes, villains, both are shown. In the very first chapter, in the very few shlokas, is it that पहले 5 श्लोकों में क्या दिया हमको? पश्येतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्यमातीं च यूढां दुमपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता शूरा महेश्वास भीमार्जुन समायुधि युधान विराटः द्रुपदः दुष्टकेतु चेकितान. All the heroes. Then अस्माकं तु इष्टाय तान्यमोज भवान् भीष्म कर्ण कृपः अश्वत्थामा. These are all the adharma pakshi. In the same way, in this Upanishad, first the hero is introduced, Parabrahma. Atmava, the first word itself is hero. Atmava idam ekameva agre asit. He is the hero. Na anyat kinchana mishat. then the whole thing is only Him. If we forget Him, we have lost the essence. Everything is His glory. He is beyond all that glory. See Him glorious through the glory, and see Him beyond the glory. This is what we are taught. Like in the doctor's attention to the patients, every of the parameters, medications, all what is he mainly aware about the health of that patient. Baki Sara for that sake only. What the government is supposed to do thousands of things. Basic is all the citizens should be taken care in their all requirements. उसी के दृष्टि पे द रोड्स बनाओ बिल्डिंग्स बनाओ जो भी बनाना है तुमको एवरी प्रोसेस और पॉलिसीज फॉर दैट कॉमन थिंग so to one the study of shastras, two the whole life to be lived, both should be keeping the truth reality in basically in mind first. इसलिए पहले इंट्रो हीरो को हमको ब्रह्म इंट्रोड्यूस किए हैं आत्मा वायदमे का आग्रह से. Anyway, now if I start all that, it will be 2 hour subject. Idea is given, contemplate karo. We are into the first chapter, Adhyaya, Tritiya Khanda. Into that, 12 mantra, 13, 14. What a beautiful way of teaching to us if you are conscious and alert. Sone pe Suhaga, the great commentary of Bhashyakara, Adi Shankara. So, what are the three kshanas? Kathamnu madhrute syad. Second, kohamiti. Third is katham prapadisham iti. How can they be without me? By this, the slavery is transcended. That they are with me because of me for me. Not I am because of them and for them. By saying kohamiti, that thing is established. That I am Sakshi Rupena Bhokta of everything. I am the Aham to see that as Idam. I am Satta. They are all Asat. They are appear only on my own, on the strength of my own Ikshana or Sankalp. Then I am consciousness, isn't it? These are the things we saw about the second point, Kohamiti. The third one is Katham Prapadishatu. So, in that royal path of Simanam Vidarya, Etaya Dwara Pravadyata Pravishtavan. Feel all this contemplation. See, as I said just now, any mantra of the Upanishad, any words, through that, like Bhagavat Padra, 10th Skanda, hundreds of stories, characters, but they're all woven around two main things. One is Krishna, second is Krishna Bhakti. So that Krishna Anugraha comes, leading to Krishna Bhakti. Common thread. Here also, tuned to him about whom to talk, whole Upanishads have come. So, etaya eva, so etam simanam vidarya, etaya dwara prapadyata. So, in this, four things are what? One is entry of Bhagavan is into the human body is not from anywhere, from the royal path of the Ubarwala. Two things. One is it is so great, that is why the Lord entered from there. Second, Lord entered from there, therefore it is great. Our attention should be like that. Is it not? In this world, everything is divine, but what is great, we decide by our choice. है कि नहीं? लाइक किसी को पान का पत्ता ग्रेट है, किसी को तुलसी का पत्ता ग्रेट है, किसी को टोबैको का पत्ता ग्रेट है, किसी को चाय का पत्ता ग्रेट है. देखो our vasanas. Otherwise, in all of them, one divinity only is there. He entered through the Simanam. That portion we are in the discussion yesterday. उसका क्या क्या बताया हमको, दो तीन बातें. One is, it is special entrance only for the Raja, the self. Second, it is given a name. The name of this entrance is Vidrutihi. Why the Lord has done the Vidarana of it, opened it up, and then entered through it. Second point. Third, क्या है? Very interesting thing. Other dwaras being of the सेवक level of इंद्रियों का द्वार है, इंद्रिय अधिष्ठानों के द्वार है, न आनंद हेतुनि. They may be giving little pleasure, but not true आनंद. इदं तु द्वारं परमेश्वरस्य एव केवलस्य. This dwaram is only exclusively of Paramatma. Iti, therefore, tadedat nandanam. The nandanam eva. Okay, what Shruti Mata said, उसको भगवान आदि शंकर इस तरह से हमको एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं. The सीमान द्वारा इज आनंद. ऑल अदर द्वारा देखो, मुख से कुछ खाना खाते या बोलते, बट दैट लीड्स टू लॉट ऑफ रिग्रेट्स एंड ऑल. कान से भी कुछ सुनते हैं, everything is not pleasuring. Through eyes some beauty we may see, but it is not lasting. हर एक द्वार से आनंद नहीं मिलता, थोड़ा प्लेजर, ज्यादा मेहनत एंड दुख. बट श्रीमान द्वारा is of the divine, divine being blissful, it is also blissful. वो द्वार आनंद द्वार है. So if you have faith in Shraddha, in Shastra, then you believe, okay, Shruti Mata ने कहा, ये मूर्धनि द्वारा is आनंद का द्वार है. Now you try to eject out of it. So, iti dairyam chandasam, okay? Means what? What is the purpose of saying this sentence? Tat tadetat nandanam. Purpose is nandati anena dvarena gatva parasmin brahmani iti. Like that pipeline way of connections होते हैं कि नहीं? Like when you have to supply water from a river to a remote village of 20 kilometers. कैनाल करो या वो भी पाइपलाइन सप्लाई है और अंडरग्राउंड पाइप्स लगा. देर आर दी पेट्रोल ऑयल पाइपलाइंस even within the ocean and under the ground or earth also, without any outer disturbance. उसमें से जैसे बिजली भी हो, पानी भी हो, पेट्रोल इत्यादि चीजें हो. In the same way, this Seemana Dwara is a pipeline Dwaram through which when we eject out, we go to the Brahma Prapti and get moksha. Inasmuch as the other Dwaras also are the pipeline Dwara, but definitely taking us to the Karma Phala Bhogas. Like in the airport. Gates are there. So each gate leads to different aircrafts. Each aircraft goes in different direction to land in different nation, different places, destinations. बस स्टैंड में देखो आप, जनरल सिटी बस स्टैंड, 500 buses will be there, 1000. निकल गया तो एक एक अपने रास्ते में, अपने अपने डेस्टिनेशन. So too, the other dwaras are the कर्मफल भोगवारा द्वारा, संसार द्वारा, नॉट आनंद द्वारा. बट ये वाला जो है कि नंदति अनेन द्वारेण गत्वा परस्मिन् ब्रह्मणि, थ्रू दैट ब्रह्मरंध्र द्वारा, सीमान द्वारा, when one goes out, then he will become one with Parabrahma and be in that blissful state. Keep that in mind. That's why Murdhini Adhaya Atmana Pranamastito Yoga Dharanam Om Ityekaksharam Brahma Vyaharan Mamanasmaran Yah Prayati Tyajandeham Sa Yati Paramam Gatim. Gita 8 chapter is purely talking this only. Prayana Kalecha Katham Neyosi वाला 7th question of Arjuna, उसके लिए ये उत्तरम answer. So how much we have seen? Sa etam eva seemanam vidarya etaya dvara prapadyata. So Vidrutirnama Dvaha Etat Nandanam. These four main things of the main mantra stand explained along with Bhashya. Aikini? So etameva simanam vidarya etaya dvara prapadyata sa esha vidyutirnamadvaha tadetat nandanam. Now we have to study the next portion of this mantra. Tasya traya avasataha traya swapnaha. Having entered into this human complex of Karya Karana Sanghata, he made three avasataha, three abodes to stay. Traya swapnaha, three fields of experiences. Mhm. Like on business tour also, when one goes, you'll make three, four accommodations and three, four different meetings for different purposes. One of them can be for mere sheer entertainment also. Many of business meetings, a part of that is some cultural shows of entertainment. जो भी है, तो भगवान के भी अंदर प्रवेशने के बाद तीन रहने के जगहें हैं और तीन उनके स्वप्न अनुभूतियां हैं. आई एम टेलिंग यू द लिटरल मीनिंग ऑफ मंत्र. Then with the Bhashya we are studying. And our attention is what? In whatever the form he is there, he alone is there in that form. Our drushti should be on him. Slowly, when the subject is developed subsequently in this very Upanishad through the mantra and Bhashya, that him is recognized obviously as in every other Upanishad, one way it is told. In this Upanishad, it will be told as Prajnanam. Like in Aitareya, it was told as what? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. In Manduka, it was told as Nanta Prajnam Adrushtam Avyavaharyam. In Mundaka, it was told as Adreshyam Agrahyam Agotram. In Ishavasya, then Shukram Akayam Avaranam Asnaviragam Shuddham Apapaviddham. Every Upanishad has indicated to us the truth in the specific manner. तो यहाँ हमको वो पूरा बताकर उनके अस्तित्व को सब कुछ उन्हीं का महिमा है पूरा कन्विंस करा के हमको फाइनली विल बी टोल्ड इनफैक्ट उनको कैसे किस रूप से हमको पहचानना चाहिए प्रज्ञानम है ना like in Aitareya Panchakoshas are told here variety of vrittis will be told and we are told is there any of the vritti in which is possible without the consciousness behind it? No. So that consciousness is Prajnanam. That Prajnanam is Brahma. पहले ब्रह्म है उनकी सब कुछ महिमा है उनके जानने से मोक्ष है. When in these things we are convinced about, then only we inquire about it, reach out it. Like when you are in a city, plenty of food places are there, so there is no tension. But when you go to outskirts, remote places, oh, भूख लग रही है. First you ask, is there any place of eating or hotel है? वहाँ दूर पे है. Then inside the mind, वहाँ जाना ही पड़ेगा, वहाँ खाना ही पड़ेगा, तभी अभी जिंदगी चलेगी. So we go there, whatever they say we order, we eat and get that respite or relaxation. Like that, in your and my life, we must know there is Brahman. We must know in the experience of Brahman only there is the contentment, satisfaction, bliss, liberation, etc. Then we inquire of what nature he is, how is he, how to recognize. So the way of recognizing is he is beyond, behind all vrittis, supporting them. And recognizing him is as what? Prajnana. ये सब बाद में आएगा. अब हमारे अंदर through all this study ब्रह्म तत्व अस्तित्व is being established to such an extent that everything is by him only. He alone is. Like in some places when you go, person very ordinarily seated. हम सोचते हैं काम करने वाला होगा, ऐसे कुछ बैठा है. But when you stay there for few hours and see whole things happening, later you understand that though he is looking like doing nothing, yet everything is happening on his order only, in his planning only. अंडरस्टैंड. और पता बाद में चलता है हमको, अरे दिखता है तो ऐसे, लेकिन सब कुछ इन्हीं की वजह से सब हो रहा है. ऊपर से देखने से लगता नहीं. Then we start really respecting that person. Oh वाह. है कि नहीं. देख से there are some companies in India, hundreds of fields में they are serving the nation and people. We use all those services but we don't recognize. But if you pay attention and see, ये फूड प्रोडक्ट्स वही बना रहे, कपड़ों में भी उनका हाथ है, ट्रांसपोर्ट का भी दे आर मेकिंग इट. When you keep know all that, अरे what a great group of industries, that so many types of industries they are running to help the whole country. क्या मजेदार बात है. In the same way, simple, innocent looking, unseen Brahman alone is there in the most dynamically seen world of happenings at the individual or a total level. That's what we were referring in the morning. When you look at a leaf, the leaf also is looking at you. The tree is looking at you. When you look at mountain, ocean, samudra, उनके द्वारा हम भी देखे जा रहे हैं. उसमें बैठकर silently the truth, the reality is looking at us. So is the seer also, is seen also from both counters. This we had studied exhaustively in Taittiriya Upanishad. Annam Annadaha. याद है. both are annam, both are annad. Anna annad के रूप में one Brahman alone is expressing. Now we have to study in this portion through the Bhashyam. Traya avasathaha, traya swapnaha. Okay, what it is? Hmm. 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 Don't forget this line. Anena dvarena gatva parasmin brahmani nandati iti. Okay, nandati iti anena dvarena gatva parasmin brahmani. Through this dwara, when we eject out, we merge in Parabrahman, therefore get the Ananda. At the lower levels, the reflection of Ananda in the form of Sukha or pleasure, but the reflecting media are not the stable things, correct, purified things. Therefore, instead of reflecting Sukha, pleasure, they also reflect the Dukkha. But Murdhri Marga, when we eject and go, we merge in Brahman, we become Ananda Yukta. That's the meaning of Tadetat Nandanam. Again here, therefore, always live life at the maximum, minimum heart level, not below. Go to the throat level. Come to the Agnya level. Then be at the Sahasrara level all the time. Try to reach to that level. Living life at Sahasrara level is universe is one. That is the identity. Anyway, all those things will be again big topic. इतना माइंड में रख लो. The jnanis, the bhaktas, yogis, having fulfilled their mission by being in the body, when they leave the body, through Murdhri Marga, they live to identify with the universal Paramatma. Thereafter, whether they express through Stula equipment or Sukshma equipment or one equipments or many equipments or without equipments, all those subtler expressions of divinity are different. But the basic is one with Brahman and in the Ananda. इतना समझ लो काम को आएगा बात. नाउ तस्य एवं सृष्ट्वा प्रविष्टस्य. Okay, that Lord who has given, having done the ikshanam and created, having created a pravishtasya. देखो, after the pravesha, whether you want or not, you are conditioned by the conditionings at the vyavahara level. Like the space at the paramarthika level, never conditioned when it is inside the walls of the pot or a walls of the hall, because space is such a subtler thing that it cannot be conditioned or divided. But ये तो पारमार्थिक बात है. But व्यवहार के दृष्टि से is not the space now having the square shape or rectangular shape commanded by the square type, rectangular type, the walls of the hall. बताओ, एक्चुअली नहीं हुआ, बट वॉल्स बनाया, इसका अर्थ क्या हुआ, अंदर का स्पेस व्यवहार के लिए कंडीशन हो गया. एंड दैट इज बीइंग यूज्ड आल्सो बाय अस कि यू स्टे इन दैट स्पेस, नॉट इन द होल स्पेस. वी आर इन द हॉल स्पेस ऑफ दैट 14-16 by फीट ओनली वी आर मूविंग. तो यूटिलिटी है उसमें, उसी में हम अपने कुर्सी लगाते हैं, सोफा लगाते हैं, टीवी लगाते हैं, डाइनिंग टेबल लगाते हैं, लड़ाई लगाते हैं, एंजॉय करते हैं, दुखी होते हैं. इन दैट स्पेस वी आर नॉट इन द होल स्पेस. इन द सेम वे व्हेन परमात्मा एंटर्ड, इमीडिएटली देखो भगवान शंकर का यही खूबी है कि तस्य एवं सृष्ट्वा प्रविष्टस्य, हैविंग प्रवेश किया, वो क्या गया, जीवेन आत्मना, परम आत्मा जाकर के थ्रू दिस उपाधि हैज नाउ बिकम जीव आत्मा. जीवेन आत्मना प्रविष्टस्य. Still there is a chance for him not to get identified with the upadhis and suffer as jiva. He can come out of the upadhi and become atma, dropping the jiva bhava. वो तो बात की बात है, बाद में वो साधना बताएंगे. बट अनेन तस्य एवं सृष्ट्वा प्रविष्टस्य जीवेन आत्मना, that Lord who having created now entered as inside and now he is now jiva, जीवेन आत्मना. क्योंकि परब्रह्म को कोई स्थान नहीं है, रहने का अवस्थाएं नहीं है. कोई स्थान है, रहने का अवस्थाएं है मम्मा, इसको वो तो जीव के लिए होना चाहिए. इसलिए इमीडिएटली द जीव कॉन्सेप्ट इज ब्रॉट. परब्रह्म इज बियॉन्ड ऑल द गुणास एंड ऑल अवस्थास ना. सो तस्य एवं सृष्ट्वा प्रविष्टस्य जीवेन आत्मना प्रविष्टस्य, परमात्मा जाकर के जीव आत्मा बनकर अब है अंदर, हैविंग एंटर्ड. देन एग्जाम्पल इज गिवन फर्स्ट, राज्ञः इव पुरम, like for the raja inside the puram, for him also traya avasathaha, there are 3 places of stay. है कि नहीं? Like the raja को there will be main palace for him. कोई जगह होता है पैलेस तो रहे, उतना ही नहीं भाई. when he goes for the सभा मंडप for meeting, you know, वहां फिर उनके लिए एक अलग चेंबर होता है, वहाँ रेस्ट लेंगे वगैरह. लाइक ग्रीन रूम फॉर द स्टेज प्लेइंग ऑल द स्टेज आर्टिस्ट्स, there's a green room, is it not? Like a troupe has gone to perform somewhere, some city, तो पहले उनको एक होटल देंगे रहने को. सेकंड बिहाइंड द स्टेज उनको वो होगा ग्रीन रूम where they make up and all keep ready. Again there is a third thing called a stage on which they perform. So to the Raja, he'll have his own palatial place to stay. Then he will दौरे पे जाएंगे तो उनके लिए वहाँ accommodation होएगा. Like Indian Prime Minister has his own PM office or house. When he goes to any other nation, he will be given accommodation. And the third one is the Raja may go in a ratha or somewhere to a jungle for hunting or any work or for any entertainment. वहाँ उनके एक और कुर्सी होगी बैठने को. राजा के जैसे होते हैं उसी तरह ये परमात्मा जो जीव के रूप में अंदर प्रवेश किया या अंदर प्रवेश करके जीव का खेल खेल रहे हैं. टू हिम देयर आर 3 आवसताः. ओके, इतना पहले पकड़ लो बात. ओके, दे आर टोल्ड हियर द 3 अवस्थाः and 3 आवसताः, told simultaneously by Shankara Bhagavan. 3 planes of experience, avastha, and corresponding to each plane of experience, 3 avasataha, abodes of stay. Okay, इतना समझ ले. What are they? First, जागरित काले, plane of the life is experience is Jagrata Avastha. Avastha कौन सा हो गया? जागृत काले. And where, what is the sthanam? Sthanam is Indriya sthanam. Even in the Indriya sthana also, predominantly where is he? Dakshinam Chakshuhu. So Paramatma as Jiva Atma in the Jagrata Avastha predominantly is said to be existing in the right eye. दक्षिण चक्षु कहते हैं, वाम चक्षु दक्षिण. सो दक्षिण चक्षु में जीव रहता है जागृत अवस्था में. तो जीव का अवस्था कौन सा? जागृत. रहने का स्थान अवस्था दक्षिण चक्षु. Many other Upanishads, it's all told. And there is a lot of powerful thinking logic you can see, wherein the Dakshina Chakshu is a more aware of all Jagrata Avastha. We are there in other parts of body, then only they also function. But the headquarters is Dakshina. Jiva ka Dakshinakshi. As a first karika of our Mandukya also. Dakshinakshi pare purushaha. What is that karika? Mandukya Upanishad, 27th or 28th. टाइम पास 2 मिनट. किताब सामने है. मंत्र अभी कहाँ याद रहेगा हमको. दक्षिणाक्षि मुखे विश्वः विश्वम अनंतस्य मनस्यन्तश्च तैजसः आकाशे च हृदि प्राज्ञः त्रिधा देहे व्यवस्थितः. है ना. दक्षिणाक्षि मुखे विश्वः मनसि अंतश्च तैजसः आकाशे च हृदि प्राज्ञः त्रिधा देहे व्यवस्थित. See similarity. Aitareya, Mandukya and this one. So जागृत काल में कौन सा स्थान है? इंद्रिय. इंद्रिय कौन सा? दक्षिण चक्षु. ओके. स्वप्न काले in the dream avastha. So for the jiva, the second avastha is swapna. What is the avasatha? The place of stay. Manaha. अभी देखा ना हमने मनस्यंत. Then third one is what? Sushupti kale. The third avastha is nidra. And where is the avasatha? Ki hrudaya akashe iti etat. So Paramatma having entered Karyakarana Sanghata is as a jiva living in Jagrata Avastha to the right eye, living as Swapnanubhuti in the Manasi, and the Sushupti is experiencing by being in the headquarters called Hrudaya Akasha. Now tasya traya avasataha traya swapnaha. Okay. So another way of seeing is what? This jiva has a 3 abodes to stay, which will be told in the next chapter, etc. He says, Vakshamanaha va traya avasataha. Or the what we are going to say, the 3 avasatas, places of stay. What are they? Pitru Shariram. First, through the food eaten, that jiva enters into the father's body. Pitru Shariram is first avasatha. Second, Matru Garbhashayaha. The second place of stay for him is the womb of the mother. Third, naturally, Swamcha Shariram. In the mother's womb, he will find his own Sharira. That is his third avastha, with which he will be thrown out, and then he continues to stay in that there till he leaves that. So 3 are the places for the jiva to stay and eke out his Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti avasthas. So, therefore, to whom all the avasthas are belonging? Actually, in Yoga Darshanam and other Upanishads, we saw from the Vyatireka standpoint that these avasthas, gunas to buddhi influenced by the chitta. Sorry, prakriti or maya. Not to the Atma. Atma is in Turiya avastha. Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti avas belong to buddhi. In Adhyatma Ramayana, didn't we study 4-5 days back? They belong to buddhi, not to the self. That too because of 3 gunas. But my dear friends, the 3 gunas, kaho, buddhi, kaho, avastha, can they be there without Paramatma? to detach from the anubhutis, we say they belong to buddhi. Then to recognize the self, we say that without Paramatma or the self, they can't exist. See, the both ways we have to work. Anvaya Vyatireka. So without Anvaya Vyatireka is incomplete. No, for the sake of Anvaya only Vyatireka. जीव का व्यतिरेक करना है, परमात्मा का अन्वय करना है. Avasthas are not belonging to me. From my standpoint, they belong into Prakriti. But Prakriti cannot exist without Paramatma. Therefore, finally, avasthaएं किनके हैं? परमात्मा के हैं. But he being beyond it, at the call of the avastha, he takes the role of jiva. Go through avastha, not to suffer. Another topic it is. Now, त्रयः स्वप्नाः. थ्री प्लेन्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस जो ऑलरेडी टच किया गया. जागर स्वप्न सुषुप्ति आख्याः. These are the three avasthas. Now, a question is raised here. ननु जागरितम प्रबोध रूपत्वात् न स्वप्न. कल देखेंगे हम इसको. जागृत अवस्था is so full of awareness of the world and things are done very logically, planned way, systematic, meaningful. How can you call जागृत अवस्था as स्वप्न? त्रय स्वप्नाः. चलो सुषुप्ति को निद्रा को का नहीं दोस्तों अपना मानेंगे नहीं, क्योंकि उसमें कुछ विशेष होता नहीं है, नथिंग. बट जागृत अवस्था इज सो एक्टिव, डायनामिक, प्रबोध रूप. वी आर फुल्ली अवेयर ऑफ ऑल आवर फैकल्टीज, द होल वर्ल्ड आउटसाइड अदर देन अस. हाउ डू कॉल इट एज स्वप्न? तो उसका आंसर ही हमारा इस मंत्र का मुख्य उद्देश्य है. कल हम उसको देखेंगे. देन कम्स द नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ, यू नो, very beautiful. That is why the need of studying Upanishads through Adi Shankara Bhashya. He tells the Bandhana and Moksha in the Sambandha Bhashya itself. Sorry, in the Bhashya itself to this mantra. How having entered this Sanghata, Paramatma gets bound and also gets liberated. Thereafter, the way of liberation, what exactly happens, that will be touched in the next sloka. These are all very sublime things. Let us try to taste them tomorrow. Om 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 Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो परम ऋषिभ्यो परम ब्रह्मणे श्रुति मात्रे. ओम तत्सत. ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. Today's introduction was little